श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किक केसरी वेदांताचार्य वर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदाहृति श्रीवासरंग परकाल मुनित्रयाप्त लक्ष्मात्मरक्षणयुगागमान्तम् आचार्य भक्ति परिपूतमनर्गशीलं गोपालदेशिक मुनिं गुरुमाश्रयामः। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे सुखतातं तपोनिधिं। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः. So we are going ahead with the next slokam today. I think it is 79th slokam. Shuvarnavarno hemango varanga shantanangatihi veeraha vishamasshunyo kritasirachalaschalaha. So before proceeding, I just wanted to narrate a very interesting incident that had happened when I was on a business trip last 2 weeks. So I'd been to the UAE. It's near Dubai, called Fujairah, where there is a construction site. So one of the construction supervisors, he had just joined 2 weeks back, and he received a call. Very young chap, a Tamilian from Madras, a young chap. He came the next day morning to my office and said, "Sir, I just received a call last night that my mother has liver cancer. So today they are going to going to meet the oncologist, and I'm very worried." And he was crying, he was in tears. He is in his late 20s. So I told him that don't worry, everything will be all right. Let's recite Vishnu SAHASRANAMAM tonight. Come to my room, together we will recite. So he came that night. We recited Vishnu SAHASRANAMAM twice. Next day morning, I didn't see him. The third day, he came to my office again. And he said, the oncologist said, there is no cancer in liver, it is only in uterus, and it is localized. So we can remove the uterus and the suffering would be nil afterwards. And he added saying that his mother's sisters had undergone the same uterus removal. So he is not now worried. He was visibly cleared of his anxiety and pain. It could be incidental, but I considered and I attributed that to the glory of Vishnu SAHASRANAMAM. So I just wanted to mention this. There is no limit in which Vishnu SAHASRANAMAM can be the panacea for all our illnesses, including samsara sagara, the punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Again and again we need to take birth and have a suffering in this world. We may think that today it is a pleasure, but only when we get such agony, suffering, problems, then we would realize. Anyway, let's move on with the slokam. Suvarnavarno hemango varangas chandanangadi veeraha vishamassunyo gritasir asalaschalaha. Suvarna varnaha. Suvarnam is gold. Varnaha, golden colored. Hema, we will just talk upon the brief crude meaning of each and then enjoy the detailed explanation of each of the namas. Hema angaha. Hema also means gold. Hema lata is creeper, golden creeper. Hema malini. So Hema angaha. He has got golden colored limbs. The angams are of golden hue. Vara angaha. He displayed a divine form to Devaki in response to her prayers. Chandana Gadi, he who adorned himself with delightful abharanams. Veeraha, Chandana Gadi, Veeraha Vishamassunyo. He is a Veeran, warrior, the slayer of demons, the asuras, the rakshasas. He is a slayer of the strong rakshasas. Vishamaha, he who destroyed the effect of poison that was consumed by Rudra during the churning of the Milky Ocean. He is the one who ensured that the poison would not have an effect on Rudra, because he wanted to perform his Bhagavat Kainkaryam by taking the consumption of the poison. Shunyaha, he who is without any attributes. Gritashi Rachalas Chalaha, Gritashi, he who sprinkles the universe with prosperity, with wealth. He who sprinkles us with the wealth. Achalas Chalaha, he who is unshakable against enemies. He who is immovable by his enemies. Achalaha, who cannot be moved, because who cannot be conquered. Chalaha, he who moves. Two contradicting word names one consecutively. Achalaha, Chalaha, one who is unshakable and one who moves, one who is immovable, one who moves. So we will look at the meaning. Such a wonderful Vyakhyanam by Acharyas. Suvarna Varno Hemango Varanga Chandanangadi Viraha Vishamashunyo Gritashehi Achalaha Chalaha. Suvarna Varnaha. Suvarna Varna means, as I said, gold. How can one be a golden colored? Tanga Padumai. We always say, when somebody is good boy or a good girl, Tangamana Ponne, Tangamana Paya, doesn't mean that she or he is made of gold. He has got good qualities, good Atma Gunams, lovely nature. So gold is known for the purity, its untarnished nature, its effulgence, it's highly desired by people, its wealth, its mangalam, its auspiciousness. All these aspects of Bhagavan, by saying he is of golden color, are brought out by this nama, namely his effulgence, his blemishless nature, his flawlessness, his illuminating power, his purifying nature, his being desired and by all his devotees, bhaktas. So Suvarna stands, which is extremely desired and longed for. He who has the Divya Swarupam, which is blemishless like gold. He who has Divya Rupam, which is so beautiful to even behold in our eyes. Because the Lord Narayana means Naranam Ayanam Yasya Saha, one who is housed in everything and everyone throughout the universe, everywhere, in both the Vibhuti, in this universe as well as beyond. He is there, immanent, manifested in everything and everyone. That is Narayana, the definition of that. But one who has the form, the Rupam, with so beautifully. So that form is taken for our sake, for us to enjoy. Alvar long for the words to describe the anubhavam that they have on this indescribable Emberuman. Thirumangai says in Tirukkurundandagam, Inba Pavinai, Pachai Tenai, Paim Ponnai, Amarar Shenni Puvinai. Thirumangai says he is Inba Pa, sweet song, Pachai Ten, fresh honey, Paim Pon, shining gold, the flower that the Nityasuris wear on their head, Amarar Shenni Puvinai. Nammalvar describes him as Ulahalanda Manikame, Yen Maragadame, Matrum Opparai Illa Ani Ponne, the gem that measured the whole world, my favorite emerald gemstone, the incomparable pure gold. Even Thirumangai mentions in Periya Tirumazhi, Ponnin Vannam, Mani in Vannam, Purayum Tirumeni. In Treta Yugam, his color is golden, and in Dwapara Yugam, his color is blue. In Kali Yugam, he is dark colored like the rainy clouds. Swami Periyavachan Pillai, the Vyakhyana Chakravarti Paramakaruniker, he describes the Vyakhyanam that in Kali Yugam, he is in his natural form, which is dark blue, dark colored like a rain-laden cloud, like it's just going to rain. Just going to rain torrentially, heavy downpour. He is like Karumega Vannan. Why is he in that natural color? Because when the husband comes from work, the spouse dresses herself in the best of her saris and in best of her makeup, and to enjoy being with him, because he comes back home in the evening. I'm talking about good old days. So now when the husband is so much fond of her, in love with her, he would be happy to see her in such beautiful form, in different colored saris. But if he has got no liking for her, if he doesn't even care for her, he is completely indifferent, she would be in her natural form. What's the point? Just for no purpose of having dressing for him. He doesn't even care. So similarly, Perumal in Kali Yugam, nobody bothers about him. Nobody looks at him. No, they are so busy with so many other things, material things. So he is in his natural form, the Vyakyana Chakravarti says, just for the Anubhavam. Now, even Adityavarnam Parama Purusha, so he who has the luster of the sun. So that is why even the Upanishad says Hiranyakeshaha Hiranyashmashruhu. His hair is golden color. His mustache is golden color. Even Pirati is described as Hiranyavarnam, Harineem in Sri Suktam. She is of golden color. So that is why Suvarnavarno Hemangaha, one who has got beautiful limbs. Suvarna and Hema are equivalent words that refer to gold. Sri Parasara Bhattari interprets this nama as referring to the limbs of the body, which are eternal, which are celestial, which are composed of purest sattva material. Our body is made of three gunas, which is Suddha, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Whereas in Sri Vaikuntham, the Perumal's body is made of pure Suddha Sattvam, full of Sattvam, only Suddha Sattvam. And when he takes avatarams, like Ramakrishna avataram, it is full of Suddha Sattvam. Even though he would look like us, but his body is transcendental form. Similarly, when he takes the Archavataram in Perumal Sannidhis, in temples, in our Shaligramam, in our homes, he takes Suddha Sattva Trimeni. You may say the temple, I myself know that it is made of Panchalokam. I myself know that it is made of stone. How can you say it is made of Suddha Sattva? It is. However, when they consecrate with the mantrams, with the yantrams, and they do with all the agama procedures, rituals, the Lord consecrates himself, enshrines himself into that form, and then houses himself in that idol, in that deity, and blesses us with that rupam. Marattil maraitadu mamadayanai. There is a line. Marattai maraitadu mamadayanai. If you see the elephant made of wood, when a child looks at it, it would say, this is elephant. What is it? Elephant. When we look at it, we would say, it is maram. This is only wood. It's not elephant, it is wood. So when we see wood, the elephant will disappear. When we see elephant, the wood will disappear. So when we see the Perumal Sannidhi, in wherever, in the temples, which is consecrated based on the agamams, he enshrines himself in that form. It is like you take 100 liters of milk and you add 1 liter of water. Is it water or milk? It is still milk. So 1 liter of water is that metallic or stone form which was originally sculpted by the sculpture. Then the 100 liters are the rituals, the agamams, the procedures with which it was consecrated. So the power is enshrined in it. So he has a body which is golden hued. His angas are golden hued. All the pramanams, the authoritative scriptures quoted in support of the interpretation of the previous nama Suvarna. Even in Sandhya Vandanam, we say Thaiyar Sada, Savitru Mandala, Madhyavarti, Narayana, Hiranmaya, Vapuhu, Dhrita Shanka Chakraha in Sandhya Vandana Mantram. Always we need to contemplate in the midst of the sun the golden hued Narayana. Varang, even திருமங்கையாழ்வார் says in Tirunedantandakam, பொன்னானாய் பொழில் ஏழும் காவல் பூண்ட புகழானாய் இமையோர்க்கு என்றும் முதலானாய் பொன்னானாய், you have become the gold. Varangaha, next name, he who displays his divine form to Devaki in response to her prayer. When Krishna was born, he had beautiful limbs. He who has a lovable form that is pleasing to those who meditate on him. Varanga. Sri Parasara Bhatta says it was the prayer. Vara means wish, prayer. When Devaki and Vasudeva saw Krishna in such a beautiful form, divine form, they saw with a small kutti Shanka Chakram. Like the baby has toys, small elephant, small lion, small crocodile, small dog. Similarly, Krishna had small Shanka Chakram. Actually it was concealed from mortal eyes. But to Devaki and Vasudeva, in response to their prayers, Varangaha, he tadetat aupanishadam devakya priyamanam atniunuta divya chinnam avishkritam iti Varangaha. Sri Parasara Bhatta gives describes the beauty of child Krishna by the Vasudeva himself. Vasudeva was called Anakadundubihi. Vasudeva was called Anakadundubi, Vasudeva. So he beheld the child in his eyes, of the complexion of the petal of a fully blown blue lily flower, having 4 arms, Chaturbhujam, with the mystic mark of Srivatsam on his chest. And he started praising him, Anakadundubi, Vasudeva. Pullendivara Patrabham Chaturbahum Udikshatam Srivatsa Pakshasam Jatam Tushtava Anakadundubihi. Sri Shankaracharya gives the meaning beautiful for the word Vara. He gives the interpretation of the nama as Varani, Shobhanani, Angani, Asya iti Varangaha, one who has beautiful limbs. So Varangaha. Then we have Chandanangadi. Chandanangadi means one who is adorned with pure delightful armlets. First, he possesses Kalyana Gunams. Bhagavad Ramanujacharya describes the Kalyana Gunams of Perumal. Swabhavika Anavadika Disaya Jnana Bala Aishwarya Virya Shakti Tejas Saushilya Vatsalya Mardava Arjava Sauhard Samya Karunya Madhurya Gambirya Audharya Chaturya Stairya Dhairya Shaurya Parakrama Satyakama Satyashankalpa Krititva Kritagyadat Yasankyeya Kalyana Gunaganauga Maharnava, one who is the ocean of auspicious attribute, Asankyeya, infinite. Kalyana Gunaganauga Maharnava. Then he says Sukanta Nirtasya Sugaspalsha Nirtasya Avujwalya Kirita Makuta Chutavadamsa Makara Kundale Gveya Kahakara Keyura Kataka Srivatsa Kaustuba Mukta Dhama Udara Bandana Pitambara Kanchiguna Nupara Dyaparimita Divya Bhushana, one who has got so delightful bhushanams, the abharanams, adorned with delightful armlets, the anklets, and the kanganam, the bangles, one who is besmeared with pleasing sandal paste, chandanam, one who provides us all with the means and the ways to be happy. He who has Angada as his pleasing devotee. Chandanangati. Chandana is derived from the root chand. Alate diptau cha, to be glad, to shine. So he causes pleasure in his devotee. He himself is pleased with his devotees. There are such wonderful meanings are talked about. Parasara Bhattar notes that Bhagavan's body itself is infinitely beautiful jewel. It is Chintamani, it is Chinta Ratnam, and objects like Angadi get their pleasing appearance. The ஆபரணத்துக்கு அழகு சேர்க்கும் பெருமாள். When we wear the ஆபரணams, the jewels, we look more beautiful. But when Perumal wears the ஆபரணams look more beautiful. The jewelry become more enhanced beauty. If he is without any ஆபரணams, he is absolutely beautiful, handsome. There is no need of ஆபரணம் for him. So it's not that beautiful jewels decorate his body, but his beautiful divine Tirumeni decorates the jewels that are placed on his divine Divyamangala Vigraham and make them look beautiful. Nammalvar mentions that Thayaradan Petra Maragadamani Tadattinaye. Maragadamani is the characteristic that will remove the fear from poisonous creatures, because they won't even approach anywhere close to its location. Enemies won't even get close to where Lord Rama is. Tomorrow is Sri Ramanavami. So here Thayaradan Petra Maragadamani Tadattinaye. Maragadamani. The moment you think of Rama, no evil, no devil will dare approach near you. And so that's why here it talks about this Nama is referring to the Guna of Bhagavan, whereby we derive mental peace by the very meditation of the Divyamangala Vigraham of Bhagavan, by the Divyamangala Vigraham of Lord Krishna, by the Divyamangala's Rupam of Lord Sri Rama, is the divine smile and the mischievous look of Krishna and the most handsome look of Sri Rama. Pumsam Drishti Chitta Paharinam. Rama is described as he simply steals our heart, mind. He simply robs our eyes. The moment we look at him, we cannot take the eyes off the shoulder, of his eyes, of his nose, of his chubby, the cheeks, and his rosy lips, and the broad divine chest. We cannot take the eyes off. And the Abharanams simply get enhanced by the beauty of Perumal. Veeraha, he is the slayer of strong demons, because we are describing the Krishna Avataram. Here he is the one who started killing right from his birth, right from the time he was born. Putana, Shakatasuran, Vriddasuran, so many asuras, one after the other. Vatsasura, then Chanura, Mushtika, Kuvalayapitam, then finally Kamsa. Then even when he becomes old, Shishupala. There are many, one after the other. He is the one who destroys the enemies. He is the one who ends the various paths that go from birth to birth and removes our samsaric afflictions. He is the one who leads the jivas to moksha by showing them the right path. So we already talk about this Veera in the Nama 168, and we will see again in 927. This term Veera is referred to the attribute of a person who is heroic, who is like a hero, exhibits the valor towards his enemies in war. So Veeraha, Bhagavan's Kalyana Gunam of destroying the enemies is because of his Veeram, and because he resorts to Dharma, what is addressed. Because it is only where Vishnu is that victory is, and it is not necessarily where a Veera is. Victory is where Dharma is. A person who has the strength but no virtue and who tortures the innocent is called Aparadi. He can be having a Veeram, but he is an Aparadi. He has committed an Aparadam. It is these people that are destroyed by Bhagavan in the end without any trace. So Veera Ha Kama Ha means one who has destroyed. Parasara Bhattar mentions that it is the likes of Putana, Shakata, the twin Arjuna trees, and others who tried to kill child Krishna cheatingly, deceitfully. Even Nammalvar mentions Pei Mulai Undu, Shakatam Paindu, Marudidai Poi Mudal Saithu, Pulvai Pilandu, Kaliratta, Tu Muruval Tondai Piranai. References to Putana, Shakatasuran, the twin trees, Bakasuran, Kuvalayapitam, all. He killed all these and then just smiled with his bright teeth showing through the red lips in a mild, artistic, beautiful smile that is characteristic of him whenever he achieves a success killing the enemy. So he is Viraha. Then we have the next Nama, which is Vishamaha. Vishamaha, he who does conflicting acts towards his devotees versus his enemies, because he is a Vishamakara Kannan. He for whom there is no equal. There is no equal for him. Vishamaha. He who destroyed the effect of the poison that was consumed by Rudra during the churning of the Milky Ocean. Also Vishamaha. So Visamaha. So one who is devoid of equals is Vishamaha. And Sri Parasara Bhattara Anubhavam is the guna of Visamam reflects his conflicting behavior in treatment of the good versus the bad. So Bhagavan is one with unpredictable and conflicting acts, Vishamaha, because he acts in different ways with different persons. He is very benevolent with his devotees and is fearsome and terrific with those who are offenders of Dharma. That is why in Tirupavai Andal says, Kadir Madiyam Pol Muhattan. Kadir Madiyam, Margali Tingal Madinarenda Nannalal, in that Pasuram, he says Kadir Madiyam Pol Muhattan. Kadir means sun, Madi means moon. He who has the face equal to the sun and the moon. How can it be? Sun means scorching, moon means cool. How can he be both? He is moon to the devotees, sun to the devil, to the demon, to the asuras. That is why he is Vishamaha. Vaikunta Manivannane en Polla Tirukkurala, en Pollada Tirukkurala. Because in Vamanavataram he came as a small brahmachari boy. And the moment Mahabali said, I will give 3 measures of your feet, within a fraction of a second he became the Trivikramavataram. Polla Tirukkurala. So Nammalvar names some of his Vishamangal in Thiruvaimozhi Pasuram also. He was the charioteer for Arjuna in the Mahabharata war. As Arjuna's charioteer, he is a driver, chauffeur. He will either push the whole chariot down slightly, or he will raise the chariot slightly up, so that the arrow of Bhishma aimed at Arjuna will miss Arjuna. And the arrow of Arjuna meant of the enemies will hit the target without fail. He would adjust the position of the chariot in such a way the purpose is served. In the war between Arjuna and Jayatratha, Jayatratha said, Arjuna took a vow that before the sun sets, I will kill Jayatrathan. And Jayatrathan went and hid himself. Until the sun sets, he will hide himself, because he was scared of Arjuna. What Krishna did, he hid the sun with his Chakraidam. The Chakraidam is equivalent to thousands of suns. So when you have a light source and you have another light source which is 100 times more than this light source, it will simply blind your eye. And with his sankalpam, he can make the Chakraidam appear dark and hide the sun's rays. Thereby the world became dark. that particular place became dark. And Jayadrathan thought it's already dark. So he came out. Immediately he removed the Chakraidam and it became day again. And Arjuna killed him. So he is Vishamakarakana. These are some instances of his Vishamangan. Why he did that? Because Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya. In order to establish the dharma. Sri Shankaracharya's interpretation is Vishamaha because he has got no equal in any sense. He is unparalleled. He is peerless. Because Oruvan Mudalali, Ulagil Matravar Tolilali, he transcends everything. Samona Asya Vidyate Sharva Vilakshanatvat Iti Vishamaha. He refers us to the Arjuna's Slokam in Bhagavad Gita. Pitasi Lokasya Characharasya Tvamascha Pujyasya Guru Gariyan Natvat Samostya Pyadika Kutonyo Lokatrayatya Pratima Prabhavaha. You are the father of this world, Arjuna says. You are the father. This is the 11th chapter, 43rd slokam. You are the father of this world, Krishna, of all that moves and all that does not move. You are the teacher of this world. You are the one most worthy of reverence and respect and worship. There is none equal to you. How can there be another greater than you in the three worlds? You match with the matchless greatness that you are. Pitasi lokasya characharasya tvamasya pujyasya guru gariyan natvat samostipi abhyatika kutonyoha lokatrayepya pratima prabhava. Nammalva describes Perumal in his Thiruvaimazhi. Vattar mikkara ilayaya mamaya. You are a mamayan without a peer, without a superior. So he is Vishama. And then we have many examples for that Vishamam. But due to paucity of time, we will move to the next Nama. Sunya Gritashiti. Sunyaha, he who is devoid of defects. When he takes birth as one of us, we say Krishna is another human being. He is a cowherd boy. He is like us. Rama Atmana Manusham Manye Ramam Dasharathatmajam. I am only a mere son of Dasharatha, Rama says. But doesn't mean that he is made of material like us. He was not bound by karma. His body is not made of the Triguna Sambandham. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. He does not have Prakriti Sambandham. We are bounded by karma. Because of our punya papam, we came into this world. We do not choose our parents. We do not choose our gender, color, country, nationality, the type of birth, whether human or deva or cockroach or animal or plant. We do not choose. It just thrust upon us based on our karma. Whereas he chooses the parent. He chose Vasudeva Devaki. He chose Dasharatha, Kaushalya. So here this Nama is interpreted by different Vyakhyaanakarta commentators in terms of his being devoid of any defects. Akhileheya Pratyanikan, he who is completely opposite of all doshams. He is destroying everything completely at the time of Pralayam. He is riding his enemies, completely getting the enemies rid of, completely without any trace. So Parasara Bhattar interpretation of this Nama is because he was without any trace of any type of defect when he takes the human avatarams. Thayar il shudaroli tannudai jyoti nindra vannam nirkave. Thiruvaimazhi Pasuram, 3rd point, 3.10.6. Here, Thayar il shudaroli tannudai jyoti nindra vannam nirkave. Bhagavan is without any trace of defect, and this is well accepted by the Upanishads. Apahata Papma, there the Upanishad Vakyam says he is devoid of hunger, thirst, defects, papams, grief. He takes birth among the grief-stricken human beings. When Sita was abducted, Rama cried and he looked at the trees and he hugged the trees. Where is my Sita? He was crying uncontrollably. And Parvati and Shivan were going in the sky. Parvati asked Shivan, "You are reciting Rama Rama Rameti always? Look at Rama crying like a human being. Why is he doing this? Is he not the Lord?" He smiled. "Go and ask him." So it seems Parvati came down. When he was crying, looking at the tree, "Did you see my Sita? Did you see my Sita?" He looked at the trees and he was crying. He saw Parvati there. Immediately he said, "Parvati, why are you here? You are not supposed to be in this scene of the drama. Go away. Otherwise people would notice." Because they are enacting and giving performance equivalent to Oscars. So she just disappeared. She smiled and went off. So we should never ever mistake that he cried because he really meant to cry. He just acted as a human being. And the ultimate purpose was for us to enjoy the Srimad Ramayana, enjoy the divine Leelas of Perumal, enjoy the way he conquered and established Dharma, enjoy the way he protects the sadhus, and enjoy the way when he even breaks that human form and grants moksham to Jatayu, grants Ahalya Shapa Vimochanam, grants Sharanagati, Vibhishna Sharanagati, and accepts him. And immediately after Sharanagati of Vibhishna, he asked Lakshmana to perform coronation ceremony for Vibhishna then and there, not even cross the ocean. How could he do that? How dare he could assume that Ravana will be killed and Lanka will be taken over, handed over to Vibhishana? He cannot assume. He did because he knew his power. Because when somebody performs Sharanagati, he forgets that he is acting. He becomes his natural form. So beautifully we need to enjoy this particular gunam. Shunyaha. Sri Shankaracharya's interpretation is he is devoid of any attributes, means any bad attributes. There is no defective attributes for him like us. We get anger, we get kamam, we get jealousy, we get so many miserliness. He is never like that. Shunyaha. Then we have Gritashihi, one who sprinkles the world with prosperity, one who is desirous of the butter in the gopis' house, one from whom all desires flow away, he who enjoys the offering of ghee in the yagam, in the homam. Gritam means also ghee. So Gritam Asihi. There are several meanings of Gritam. Here it can mean sprinkling, flowing or shining. It can also mean ghee, butter. So everything can be interpreted to Krishna. Parasara Bhattar Vyakyanam is Kritam. He makes the world prosperous by means of his benevolent, auspicious Vatsalyam, Karuna, Kataksha. He sprinkles wealth. Alternate interpretation is ghee or butter. He is the one who stole butter from the Gopika's house. When Krishna went to a rich Gopika's house and tried to steal butter, I had said earlier, the Gopika asked Krishna, "What are you doing inside?" She caught him white-handed. "What are you doing?" He just put his hand inside and was looking into the pot. "Who are you?" Krishna said, "I am the brother of Balarama." He didn't want to say Krishna. Otherwise, everybody knows Krishna was notorious. So, "I am the brother of Balarama." Balarama was a chamattu boy. So, he thought she would let him go. "Okay, what are you doing in my house?" No, I thought it is my house, that's why I entered. Every house looks same, so I entered here. "But what are you doing in the room, putting your hand in the pot, looking into the pot?" "No, when I am the one who takes care of the calves. The adults take care of the cow. One of my calves is missing. So I thought it is my house and I was searching for the calf." "Then why are you searching into the pot?" "Because I thought the calf has entered into the pot." "How can the calf enter into the pot?" "I know it cannot. That is why I am just going away now." And he started smiling and started running away. So he is the one who is the butter thief. Why he did that? Because anything which is pure, he loves. If you have a pure heart, he considers that as the butter and he wants your heart. So Shankaracharya's interpretation is he has got the grace, the quality of desiring something, seeking someone's grace to get it, receiving it from someone, which are common sequences for us, have melted away like ghee. He gets melted away like ghee when he sees the qualities of our desire for him, of need for him, of want for his grace. He would simply get melted. He melts. When you fold your hand, Anjali, when you do Anjali, he melts. Jalati iti Anjali. He simply melts at your folding hands. He is such a Bhakta Vatsalya. Then we have Achalaha, Chalaha. Achalaha means one who is unshakable against his enemy, who is immutable in his nature, and one who does not move anywhere because he is everywhere already. Why he should move? He will not move from one place to another. He is there in me, he is there in you, he is there in the laptop, he is there on the table, he is there in every particle that you can imagine. He is not there in which you cannot say that he is not there in this. There is no place in which he is not there. He has manifested in everything and everyone. So he does not move. Achalaha. Bhatta's interpretation is he is called Achalaha because he is not stirred by the evil-minded. He is not moved by the evil-minded Duryodhana and others. He is not shakeable by the evil-minded Kauravas. Sri Shankaracharya's Anubhavam, he is immutable. He undergoes no change in his nature, no change in his Shakti, power, no change in his Jnanam, wisdom, and any other attribute. Whereas our Jnanam changes every moment. One time it is high, one time it is low, one time it is zero, many times it is zero for Adiyan. So it is the difference we see in the interpretation of the current Nama is another illustration of the difference which is the Vyakhyanam by Parasara Bhattar and Shankaracharya. So it is referred to the comparing the approaches of Shankaracharya and Parasara Bhattar gives us the enjoyment of the Nama to illustrate the differences. And there is no place in which he is not. Therefore, he is Achalaha. He cannot be burnt, it cannot be cleft, it cannot be robbed, it cannot be wetted, it cannot be dried. Even the Bhagavad Gita 2.24, second chapter, 24th slokam, Krishna talks about the Jivatma. Achedyoyam adahoyam aklabdev chushya evacha nitya sarvakatasthānuhu achaloyam shanatanaha. It cannot be stolen, it cannot be burnt, it cannot be wetted, it cannot be dried. It is eternal, it is all pervading, it is stable, it is immovable, it is primeval. The Jivatma can never be born, never die. It is always there, either in this body or some other body. And that is why here in the second chapter, 24th slokam, it talks about. And same thing is applicable for Paramatma also. And next is Chalaha, one who moves. We saw last one, he never moves. Now he moves. How does he move? In the form of Vayu, in the form of air. One who rushed out of Sri Vaikuntham when Gajendra cried. He could have simply had a sankalpa, the will, and killed the crocodile right from Sri Vaikuntham. He need not have rushed, but he wanted to rush. He just left everything and rushed to rescue Gajendra. He who is full of leelas. We saw in the previous Nama, Bhagavan is Achalaha. Now he is Chalaha, he who swerves. His Achalagunam or firmness was towards his enemies. His Chalagunam is towards his devotees. One who gets moved by his devotees. One who moves because of his devotees. Sri Parasara Bhattar gives the well-known instances of carrying arms against Bhishma. I had mentioned earlier, Krishna had promised for Duryodhana that I will never touch a weapon in the Kurukshetra battle. I will not touch weapon. I will only simply drive the chariot of Arjuna, nothing else. But Bhishma was losing for first few days, and Duryodhana was angry on Bhishma. In the pavilion, when they went back to the camp, he shouted at his Pitamaha, Bhishma, "You are being partial to Arjuna, Panchapandavas. You are not your usual self. You are not fighting with your full force, vigor. Why are you doing like this, Pitamaha?" So he was angered by Duryodhana's allegation, false allegation. So he shouted, "Tomorrow I will fight so ferociously that I will let even Krishna take up the weapon." He promised, "This is my vow, Shapatam." Next day he came, and Bhishma is his devotee. So he had to save his dear devotee. And so he went ahead because he kept on hitting Arjuna, Bhishma. He was totally angry and ferocious. In order to save Arjuna from the anger of Bhishma, and decided to save his devotee's promise, the vow, he decided to run with his Chakraidam against Bhishma to protect Arjuna. The second reason, Bhishma was a great devotee of Krishna, had taken a oath in front of Krishna the previous evening that he will fight so ferociously. Next day he will make Krishna break his promise and take up arms. What was at stake was the word of his devotee Bhishma, and Krishna had to protect that word of his devotee, even if it meant that he had to break his own promise. Making his devotee's word come true was more important for him than to keep his own promise. That is his Vatsalyam. So he took to arms and thus became a Chalaha, one who swerves for his devotee, one who moves for his devotee. Adiyan, Dhanyosmi. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha.